Hello. In the previous part, we have calculated the longitudinal reinforcement, longitudinal tension reinforcement. Now we will move to the next step. So the next step is to check whether longitudinal compression reinforcement is required or not. If it is required, then we have to provide compression reinforcement also. Now, compression reinforcement is dependent on the value MT and MU. I mean their comparison. So as you can see, we provide longitudinal reinforcement only when MT is more than MU. Now, the value of MU is 200, which is already given in the question, and the value of MT we have calculated in step 1. I mean not step 1, it is in step 3, and MT was 80.88. So you can see MT is less than MU, which means there is no need of providing compression reinforcement. We provide compression reinforcement only when MT is more than MU. So we will simply write here that as per clause, as per this clause of IS code, longitudinal compression reinforcement shall not be required in this case because MT is less than MU. Now, next step will be to check whether side face reinforcement is required or not. So as we are designing a beam subjected to torsion, side face reinforcement will be provided if the depth of beam is more than 450. And as it is already mentioned in the question, the depth of beam is 700, which means side face reinforcement needs to be provided. So as side face reinforcement shall be provided as the depth of beam exceeds 450 mm. Now, what should be the amount of reinforcement that we are supposed to provide as a side face reinforcement? So it is mentioned in the section of this clause, section of this IS code, 6.16.8c of the IS code. And as per this section, we provide 0.1% of the web area. Now, as I said, web area is basically the cross-sectional area of rectangular beam. So 0.1% of the web area. So here we are using the rectangular beam. So rectangular area in this case will be known as web area. By chance, if we were supposed to provide reinforcement for a T beam, by chance, so in that case, this part would be web, or sorry, this part would be a web and this part would be a flange. So in that case, we would be required to find out web area of this one only. But because we are using our rectangular section, so rectangular section here will be considered as the web area. So that is why this is taken as B into D, 0.1% of B into D, putting all the value, we get the area of reinforcement as 280 mm square. So this area should be divided into the number of bars. Now for that, if we assume say 12 mm dia bar, so basically we have to provide equal number of bars on each face. So for example, if I provide one bar here, I have to provide one bar here also. So basically if we provide 2 bars of 12 mm dia, so this 2 bars of 12 mm dia bar, the total cross sectional area in this case would be, I think it would be around 224. I think it would be around 224, which is less than the required value. So therefore, the next possible dia which we can provide here, it will be 16 mm. So 2 bars of 16 mm dia bar will be around 400 mm square, which is more than this value and which is okay. So in this case, now we will be providing 2 bars of 16 mm dia and which will be having area of cross section 402 mm square at the mid depth of beam and one on each face like this. So this bar will be of 16 mm dia. in our case. Now, our next step is to find out the transverse reinforcement. Now, transverse reinforcement, to be specific, the stirrups. We now have to provide the stirrups. And generally in the stirrups, we are required to find out two things that we suffice in the drawing. One is the die of stirrup, what should be the die of stirrup, and the second one is the spacing. So we are required to find out these two things. Now die of stirrup is very much required to calculate the value of ASV. So if you remember the formula that we use to calculate the spacing, then you will realize why we are required to find out ASV. So in the transverse reinforcement, we generally provide stirrups, and in the stirrups calculation, we will be required to assume the stirrups diameter because it is not given in the question. So we are required to assume it to calculate the area of cross-section of stirrup legs. So as I explained earlier also, say stirrups are like this. So this one is one leg and this one is the another leg. So this is as two-legged vertical stirrups. So area of cross section in this case would be 2 into area of cross section of one leg. So by chance, for example, if we assume that the dia of this stirrup as 10 mm, so in that case it would become 10 square. So this is what we have done in our problem. So here in this problem, we are required to find out ASV. Other values can be calculated and then we will be required to find out SV. So first we need to find out ASV and then we will find out SV. By determining other parameters like TU, VU is already given. B1 and D1 will be calculated by the beam dimension that I will show you. And Fy is already given in the question. We are using Fe415. So for Fe415, Fy value will be 415 Newton per mm square. So all these values are available here. So first of all, we need to find out ASV, and ASV depends on the dia of bar. So assuming the dia of bar as 10 mm, two-legged vertical stirrups, finding the area of cross section ASV as 2 into pi d square by 4. So we get the value of ASV as 157 mm square. So this is the tentative value because we have just assumed the dia of bar as 10 mm. So we also need to check whether this ASV is sufficient or not by performing the check later. So first we have provided the value of ASV as 157. Also, we are required to find out value of B1. Now here you can see B1 is the center to center. You can see here B1 is the center to center distance, and generally this value, say this is as 50 mm, this is the cover, effective cover. Here also we are assuming that this is as 50 mm, or no, not 50 mm actually, because our requirement is to that this stirrups should be as close as possible on the corner, on the edge of the beam, because torsion will be maximum at the surface. So therefore first we will find out the D1 value. So as effective cover is already given, which is 50 mm. Similarly, this will also be 50 mm. So D1 can be uh, overall depth minus effective cover from both ends, center to center. So approximate value of D1 is 600 mm. Similarly, if we find out the value of B1 here, so if we measure the clear cover, this one, clear cover, if we take the minimum clear cover as per IS code recommendation, then it would be 25 mm. Then the dia of stirrup is 10 mm, and we are using 20 mm dia as the tension reinforcement, which we have already calculated. So half of the dia, which becomes 20 by 2, which is 10 mm. So calculating, and this thing will be done here also. So that is why I have multiplied this with 2. So getting the value of B1 as 310 mm. Now we have found all the value B1, D1, Fy, Tu, ASV. Now we can calculate the value of SV. So putting all the values in the equation, we can now calculate the value of SV as 166.7, approximately 166.77 mm. And also, IS code has recommended that the spacing of the stirrups should be the least of the following, and which is this one. So SV should be less than x1 plus y1 and 300 mm. So to get this x1 y1, we again need to take help of this diagram. So this x1, what is this x1? X1 is the center to center distance of the stirrups. B1 is the center to center distance of bar, but x1 is the center to center of the stirrups. So if we consider this as 25 mm plus half of the dia of stirrup, which is 5 mm. So 30 from this side and 30 from this side. So overall width is 400 mm. So from the figure, we can say that x1 will be 400 minus 2 into 25 plus 10 by 2. So this becomes 340 mm. Now on the same line, we can have the value of y1 also. Although this value will be approximate because uh, this dia is not calculated in our problem. So this value, this is actually not the ASC. It is not ASC because ASC is not required in our case. So this green bar are actually the anchor bar and they are not designed in the problem. So therefore, the dia of this anchor bar can be say 12 mm. So if we provide this dia, then this value may be higher. But what we are doing is, for the sake of convenience, we are just assuming that y1 is also, I mean, this one is also having 30 mm from this side and 30 mm from this side. So therefore, this becomes 640 mm. Now putting the value here, we get the spacing. So first we will put the spacing calculated, which is 166.77. Second is x1 is 340. Third one is x1 plus y1 divided by 4, which is 245 mm and 300 mm. So the minimum value of these four parameter is 166.77 mm. So technically we need to provide this spacing, but before we provide this spacing, we also need to check for the total transverse reinforcement, which shall not be less than the following. As I explained earlier, that this ASV is the tentative value. We need to check whether this ASV satisfy this equation as per the IS code. So this is also mentioned earlier in earlier part. So we need to satisfy this condition. If this condition is not satisfied, then we have to increase the value of ASV by increasing the dia of the stirrups. So now putting all the values here in this on the RHS of the equation. So putting all the value, ASV is already we have provided as 157 and the required value of ASV is 124. So as you can see, required value is less than the provided value. We can say that amount of transverse reinforcement is sufficient. So we say that this is safe. And now we can say that providing two-legged 10 mm dia stirrups at the rate of 160 mm center to center. So again, you can see that required spacing is 166.77, but we have round off this value to the lower side. If we round off this value to the higher side, say 170 in the multiple of 10, then what will happen? Spacing will be more and the number of reinforcement will be less, which means the required reinforcement will be higher than the provided one. So that should not be the case. Otherwise, our section may fail. So therefore, we always provide, or we always round off to the lower side so that the reinforcement provided will be more than the required. Then we say that we are on the conservative side. So this completes our step 6. Now we will have step 7 as reinforcement sketch. The reinforcement that we have designed uh, in our numerical, we will show that using the sketch. So I have made the sketch for your reference. So in this case, you can see this is the cross section of beam and the dimension of beam is 400 by 700 mm. And the stirrups that we have designed is two-legged stirrups, 160 center to center. Similarly, this green bar is basically the anchor bar or hanger bar, which we generally provide just to hold these stirrups. Similarly, the side face reinforcement, 2 bars of 16 dia. Then we have the longitudinal reinforcement, 5 bars of 20 mm dia. So all the bars we have designed and now we have shown this in the sketch. So that is our final step in which we are required to draw the sketch. So that is the completion of this solution. So thank you.